This week in the field, composing your photo for just shape and form. Hi everyone, I'm Scott Davenport. Welcome to In the Field. Thanks for joining me today. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, thanks for giving me a shot. I hope you like what you see and you'll come back every week for more videos. I'm going to dive straight into the topic here. This composing for shape and form. What is this all about? Why are we talking about this? Well, I guess why we're talking about it is because I'm going to talk about it, and hopefully you'll like to listen. So San Diego has been really just covered in nothing but blue skies for the last week and a half or so. And for us landscape photographers, that's a little, disappointing, right? We want to have partly cloudy skies. We want something up in that sky to catch color at the end of the day to get these nice, glorious landscapes. Well, when those things don't happen, and I'll turn my eye toward composing more for shape, for form, for things that are a very strong subject. And one of the subjects that I like to go and photograph when I have these empty type skies is a Coronado Bridge. And so a couple of weeks ago, I had done just that. And these current conditions we're having in the skies as I record this reminded me of this outing. So let me show you a little bit of the footage from this shoot. Working at some close quarters at the base of the Coronado Bridge. Cloudless afternoon. So continuing my project of more minimal compositions, making it about the bridge, doing some long exposures. I'm actually getting to put the Sony a7R II to the test. I'll see if I can back up and show a bit of the camera settings, but I am really wedged in here on a tiny, tiny patch of sand. This is my initial framing, and we turn that button off there so you can see where I'm focusing. Just right there on the bridge, F11, and one of the custom buttons, I set up the AF/MF to toggle manual focus on and off. It's kind of like my equivalent of back button focus. And I am just going to do, I'm going to probably throw a 4-stop filter on the front and get a little bit of this wave action right here in the foreground. Just every time that wave splashes down like that, it makes a nice little bit of there's a little water drag there, add some context. And next I'm going to get in tighter on the bridge, so some type of maybe framing like this, where it will really just be about the bridge. And then I'll throw on the 10 stop and do something very long, very minimal. One other little trick I'm doing is I have one of the memory modes set up to just show me the scene in black and white. Don't pay attention to the settings right here. I'm not going to be shooting at f4, but I have one of the custom menu settings here. So menu setting number 1 to just use the style on the camera to show me black and white. And when I'm thinking about minimal compositions, I do want to look at the scene in black and white because it is going to be about the shape and the form of whatever it is I'm shooting, and less about the color, which in this day there is really not a lot of it. A bit of an amber glow on the bridge, but that's really not the star for today. Not a lot that nature's serving up. One of the nice things that I found by having limited choice in composition was that the shoot was very focused and very targeted. I didn't have a large amount of scouting to do. I didn't have to spend a large amount of time at the location, and I didn't even have to wait for the sun to go down to know that the shoot was over. Sunset was probably 20 minutes away, and all right, the light had already faded, and you saw in the video there a little bit of some orange glow on the bridge, and that dissipated quickly. There was nothing else to hang around for, so it was great. Pack up, go home, and I actually got to have dinner at a reasonable hour. So, I guess the tip of the week here really is about the weather conditions shifting what you're going to look for a photograph. Thankfully, I consider things like architecture and bridges or cityscapes and so forth all part of the landscape genre, and so that gives me something to point my camera at. And maybe a secondary tip is, even though I went there just to photograph the bridge, and I got a nice shot that I'm happy with, and it's clean and it's tidy, there were more compositions than I expected to find, or at least what I was thinking of. I had the one in my mind about the big sweep and the curve of the bridge. Then I found some others where I incorporated the small little amount of shoreline that I had there. And I mean small, it was like maybe 1.5 feet at best of sand. So but was able to get the camera in there and work closely enough to get a different feel of a photo. And I'm thinking about working on that one next, right after I turn off the camera. Then again, maybe I'll save it and I'll do another live edit and just record that editing session. So you have to tune in a couple of days to see what ends up happening with that one. That's going to do it for today's In the Field video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, let me know somehow. Comments on the video below. Social shares are always appreciated. Any type of questions you got about photography, feel free to hit me up. Again, in the comments, through my website, however you'd like to get a hold of me. Doesn't really matter. Usually try to answer around in a day or so. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Happy shooting.